sensationally important day today because it's the launch of Lady Margaret School's Centenary Garden. But it may not have escaped your attention, it's another day of national importance. It's the Queen's 90th birthday. Thank you. I knew that someone was paying attention at the back of the class. I wanted to ask you to charge your glasses and acknowledge the contribution she's made to our nation by proposing a toast. So I'm going to ask you to salute the Queen.
The Queen.
The Queen.
I think that now I turn over to Philip, who's the chair of the PTA. Do I?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, we're going straight to me, are we?
We can go straight to you. I was going to hand over to you.
It would fill in when I run out of
Yeah.
steam. Right, well, good evening, everybody. Sorry, I've got a very carefully crafted speech here. So, firstly, thanks for everyone to come this evening to support the Centenary Garden launch, which, as Paul said, is very important. It's a very exciting project which follows on from recent major refurbishments throughout the school. And they're continuing with the renovation of Block C, which we've just received funding for, which is good news. When completed, the garden is going to form a central platform of our centenary celebrations, which are being developed by Paul and his team, of which I'm one. I wondered whether you wanted to just give a little bit of an outline of the sort of things we're thinking of putting through for the celebrations.
Yeah, sure. I'm very happy to do that. It's a very exciting event. It's going to take place next year, and it's actually not an event, but a number of events. It's a period of 12 months of actually largely celebration. We will have a lot of fun. And it's also going to be a lot of learning opportunities for students as well. So, for example, we're going to look at the archives and we're going to make them a more usable experience. We're also going to have a concert in a public place and get the girls to perform in a splendid venue, and we're going to possibly have a church service as well. And we're going to have a birthday of our own where all sorts of people will be invited to visit the school, old girls, old parents, past parents, that is not old parents, but the two, the two can sometimes go together. And so it's going to be full of activity and excitement, and we'll be keeping you posted. I'd say we, the Centenary Committee, will be keeping the parents, you the parents and others posted as the programme of events gets into place. So at the moment it's watch this space.
Excellent, thank you. So the garden's going to provide a wonderful learning and socialising environment for our girls and a legacy for future pupils. We also think we intend to make full use during the summer garden party, and it had occurred to us perhaps we could run our own mini Glyndebourne with the talent we have in the school. We have some plans and visuals as you've seen on display, but to give you a clearer overview of the scheme and its development, I'd like to hand over to the bursar, Mr. Alex Parker, and also I wanted to thank him for all his hard work in bringing this scheme to fruition.
Yeah.
Then afterwards I'd like to say a few words about the fundraising, the PTA, and then we can answer any questions. So, Mr. Parker.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I think I've met quite a lot of you, but if not, pleased to meet you. I'm Alex. I'm the bursar here at Lady Margaret School. And you've just thanked me, but I'd really like to thank the support that the PTA are giving to this project. As Philip just said, the schools have an awful lot of building work, and really what's happened is the girls have lost a lot of amenity at their break and lunchtime because they've lost a lot of seating, a lot of ability to socialise outside, because we have actually built on quite a lot of the area that they used to sit on. And we want to put that right, and we think the 100-year celebration is the great opportunity to do that. And also, you know, this is a garden which is for the whole community, not only your daughters, for future pupils, for the staff and for the PTA and for their celebrations, so it's a great thing. What's been happening over the last few months is that we've engaged a garden designer, which you guys have very willingly paid for and supported, who's worked with the school council on a design that they feel would be good for them in the future. So that took place over a couple of months, and then a design went back to the school council of which they were happy with. From that point, a tendering process has taken place through 3 contractors, and we've come up with a contractor called Landform, who are a very established contractor. For example, they did Eton College. And in conjunction with that process, there's been a dialogue with the PTA, the finance committee here at the school, about how we would put together a funding to deliver that project. So the plan as it stands, essentially, is when we break up on Friday the 15th of July, which luckily is early this year, we have a 6-week window to bring in the diggers. And basically what we want to do is rip up all the tarmac, rip out all the bushes, and basically put in place all the footpaths and all of the groundwork that's really important and needs to happen. So when the girls come back in September, there's no heavy lifting, no building work, it's all done. And what we have is basically the framework of our garden. However, it will not be finished. So what we will have, hopefully, is drainage, we will have paths, we will have soil, we'll have all the boring things really, but what we won't have is plants, and what we won't have is the benching, which the girls want, although we'll have something temporary, but we won't have something permanent. And really that's the window of opportunity. So we'll have come back to really a very bare garden in September, and we've got a year to make it into a flowering, beautiful place for the centenary celebrations, and that's the window of opportunity I'm hoping that you can take, and basically we'll get all the girls on board and get those plants and get those benches, but we want that to basically fund all of this work that's happened over the summer. So it's 2 years, so this summer and then the planting probably hopefully this time next year, so come September 17 we can have a big celebration. So that's what we'd really like you to get behind, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's excellent. So the other important reason for this evening, obviously, is to launch the Centenary Garden Fund. So how can I contribute? I hear you all crying. Well, frankly, you can, by supporting and spending lots of cash at the various fairs and other events which will be taking place. If you're unable to attend, then simple gift-aided contribution is going to work just as well. Now, we'll be developing a programme of sponsorship for plants, shrubs, trees or other elements of the garden, and the intention being that your daughter would take ownership and possibly we could arrange plaques for the more major items. Also, a substantial amount of funding is going to come from external trusts and businesses. Arabella, are you still there? Is heading up this initiative. Do you want to say a few words, Arabella?
Well, just say that Nigel and I, we're meeting in 2 weeks' time, but we are looking to really make links anyway. We were planning to, before the Centenary Garden, to make more links with the local businesses here in Fulham. And I think this is quite a good opportunity, because it is actually something they could contribute, enjoy, and probably have some kind of publicity overdoing. So hopefully there's something more in it to them, and that will, in the future, create more links for work experience, you know, funding for other things, and generally us helping them, them helping us. So we're sort of using it kind of as our launch as well for our sort of new business things. We're also looking to any foundations. Now, I've been scouring foundations that I know, and actually so far I haven't come up with any sort of big organisation that gives out substantial sums of money for things like school gardens. But if anybody knows or works for any sort of foundation, works or I know somebody sits on a fund, because that's what when we did the piano, it was literally on the back of a couple of PTA meetings that people said, oh, have you tried this fund? Have you tried that fund? And you know, it pressed their piano arrived. So anybody who knows any funds, or any local businesses they particularly have links with, it'd be really useful to know that, so that we can approach people personally as opposed to the blanket thing. But that's what we're proposing. And anybody who wants to join Nigel and I are more than welcome. So don't feel that this is a little elite group, because it's not. So if anybody has the skills in that area, I'd be very welcome. So I don't, it's purely the stuff I've done here.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you. So finally, I suppose it's a plea in some respects, which is, could you try and get involved with the PTA? Because our next gathering's on the 3rd of May, and I think we can offer a glass of wine, which might make people more inclined to come. But it's an opportunity to socialise with other parents, voice your opinions, and to ask any questions on school matters. We need lots of ideas for the fundraising. Melinda and Antonia, Melinda's just arrived, who are the fair supremos, I think it's fair to say, will be headline acts, and they'll bring us up to date on the progress of the summer fair, and obviously they'll also be trying to enlist help. It's also an opportunity to hear a report on current school matters from Ms Stevenson. So generally, why not just come along and have a look, and you don't have to make any contribution, but perhaps sit in the corner and just have a glass of wine. So I think that sort of brings things to a conclusion. I don't know if any questions or whether you have anything to add, Ms Stevenson?
I think just a couple of things. Thank you very much for coming this evening. This whole project is about community and it's about legacy. And so far a lot of hard work has gone into it, and a lot of hard work from the girls and from governors and from staff and from parents and everybody together. And that, I think, is one of the things that makes this project really special. I think it is a project which has already taken a great deal of thought and preparation, and it's a project that will really bring our whole community together. And I think the space in the middle of the school will become a space in the middle of the school that draws everyone together and is there for our girls. I think it will make this place significantly lovelier, even lovelier than it is for our girls at their break and lunch times. I think it will be very, very special. And the Queen may be 90, but we are nearly 100. and as we move towards those celebrations, I think it is about considering us as a whole community, and also about the next 100 years, about this garden that we are building together, which is about what then happens next. And I think that is really, really exciting. So I'd like to thank everyone who's been involved so far, and look forward to lots of exciting things over the next year. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I think that's everything. Thank you.
Yes, you carry eating and drinking. Unless does anyone have any questions? Or?
Yes.
Oh, good.
No, I do actually.
Oh, yes.
So I do apologise because maybe you all know